compensate, provide the compensation of the chairperson. With that, Chairman, I'd be glad to read the motion. I think that would be appropriate.
The motion is on the floor to compensate the chairman for his duties during his term, correct?
It would simply provide the discretion in the executive committee to compensate the chairman if they so believe that it was warranted, necessary, or appropriate.
Okay, with that clarification, there is a motion on the floor.
Second.
It has been duly seconded for the discretionary of the executive committee to pay the chairman for his duties in some form. All in favor? Wait. Is there a discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask the treasurer if he feels like that we have the money in our treasurer in order to compensate our chairman.
I think it would depend on how we decided to compensate it, in what manner or for what. If it were reimbursement for travel expenses, which was discussed just a second ago.
Louder, please. Hold the mic closer.
We may have that, but I don't think our balance as of today is $20,559.52. So it would just depend on how it was voted on in the executive committee as to whether we would or we wouldn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Martin, thank you for the information. Here's my position on it. I'm former chair. Gerald, he's a former chair. I count some 8 Republican clubs that we have in Knox County. Years past, we had 16 GOP chairs. Gerald and I never missed a meeting. We were always there. We worked in campaigns. We went to receptions. It's always been a volunteer position. These individuals that are running today, pretty sure they know they're not in it for the compensation. They're in it for the good of the party. How many of you all serve on nonprofit boards? Do you get paid for nonprofit work? No. This is the same, in my opinion, it's the same thing. I want to be GOP chairman because I want it for the good of the Republican Party. I wasn't in it for the money. I did the same thing in the commission.
Okay. I have.
Discussion back here.
Yeah, I've got discussion several places. Ms. Jarvis.
I understand volunteering, I do a lot of it, but I also understand what our legislator is telling us, that we're being out-organized, not just in Knox County, but all over. And if we don't think about how much time and effort that it takes for a chairman to do a truly good job, not just an average job, then I think we're kidding ourselves if we think that those people don't deserve to have gas in their car, reimbursed, that they don't have expenses of sending stuff out that is not covered by the committee. And I think that flexibility is really what we need to think about. And I think staffing getting some reimbursement is part of this motion that we haven't talked about, not just the chairman. But I would hate to see us let our promise in the state be eclipsed by better organized added folks on the other side. You know they're out there. And
We don't have George Soros funding us.
exactly. We have to fund ourselves.
Thank you, Shirley.
Yes, I think it's important to make a clear distinction between reimbursement of valid, documented expenses approved by the executive committee and the words in the proposal, compensation. That's different. One is paid for duty, the other one is paid for expenses.
Michael.
From reading the motion, it appears that at this point there is no provision for reimbursement of expenses. Is that correct?
That Mark.
Thank you, Chairman. The last sentence of the third paragraph provides that the executive committee shall prescribe a policy for reimbursement of expenses incurred by the chairperson.
My question is there such a provision in place at this time?
There is a provision in place for bona fide absolute expenses to be covered, like when we have our executive committee meetings at Panera Bread, we're trying to receive and we get compensated for it.
So there is one.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I'm Scott Smith, and one of the, I represent Knox County, Anderson County, and Loudoun County, and I can tell you, Loudoun County is 1/8 the population of Knox County, and year after year raises more money in fundraisers than the Knox County Republican Party. I don't understand, and so mathematically you would think that if we're 8 times the size of Loudoun County, that we should be raising 8 times as much money as Loudoun County does. I don't and I appreciate the desire to make this more professional. But if we're not even raising enough money to organize to where we have a fighting chance at winning just one city election, because right now we don't even have one city seat that's ours. Then why are we doing this? So what I would suggest is that both candidates who are running for chair, if you will stand up and say that you decline compensation, that we table this motion and we move on to other business.
Eddie.
Guys, I got into this because I'm concerned about, and we're going to talk about this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm running because I'm not concerned about 2020 as much as I am 2030. If we don't start reaching our young people, we're going to die. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it because I'm concerned about the generation of the society my kids are going to inherit, and that your great kids are going to inherit. That's what I'm focused on.
Randy.
We have a lot of time and treasure invested in what we do as a party. I think first and foremost, we need to get a handle on what it is our goals and objectives are as it relates to our finances. Our fundraising efforts primarily come from Lincoln Day. That's one of the biggest things we do all year. We can do a lot better. Insofar as compensation for the chairman, again, like Eddie said, I'm not in this for the money. I've been compensated for making purchases for the Knox County Republican Party as it relates to directly to Lincoln Day and the events that we do routinely. I'm not looking for compensation for myself, and I would move that we table this. I'm happy to have further discussion. I want everyone's input. Before we make a decision as a party, for an organization this large, we gotta listen to everybody. We've got to get everyone's input. We don't raise enough money to compensate our people that work for us. We have plenty of opportunities. We need lots of skill sets. Again, I move we table the motion for the opportunity to get more input and better advice.
Okay. Okay, there's a motion to table and a second. And that addresses the question that Scott had.
Thank you, Chairman. Before we vote on the motion to table, I would
I need, who made the second to table? Okay, there's a,
Is the motion before us for compensation or reimbursement?
the motion that we have currently, Stacy, is to table this and discuss later what we want to do. Both candidates have said they're not in it for the money, they're here for the party, so the motion is to table. And I have a second to table this motion. So I can call for a vote at this point, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion was to table, Chair. All opposed likewise? Okay, so we have a majority vote that says to table this motion for further discussion.